an ANC-DA coalition the solution to South Africa's economic recovery? In the turbulent landscape of South African politics, a surprising proposal has emerged: a coalition between the African National Congress, ANC, and the Democratic Alliance, DA. But could this unlikely partnership hold the key to South Africa's economic recovery? Have the wounds of apartheid healed enough for this ruling coalition to happen? Or will hardliners on both sides of the racial and ideological divide feel betrayed and rebel, causing further political instability in South Africa? And why does a black and white governing coalition seem such an impossibility today? Yet, Mandela and his black ANC comrades fought apartheid together with white South Africans such as Joe Slovo and his wife Ruth First, Ronnie Kasrils, and Bram Fisher. Men and women of such dedication and commitment to the black liberation struggle that some even sacrificed their very lives for it. Does this mean that South Africa is more racially divided today than during the apartheid era? Join us as we answer these pertinent questions in depth as South Africans prepare to vote in their country's most important elections since 1994. But before I delve deeper, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more insightful videos about South African politics. The inevitable coalition? A post-election coalition is on the horizon, given that the ANC's popularity is at only 40%, according to the latest opinion polls. But a coalition with whom? Many point to the Democratic Alliance, citing the party's blueprint for economic recovery and its commendable track record of governing the Western Cape. Opinion polls also reveal that a plurality of voters favor the DA as ANC's first choice for a coalition partner, highlighting shifting dynamics in South African politics. But can the ANC overcome apartheid's painful legacy to partner with a white-led party? Supporters argue that such a coalition government could bring together the ANC's extensive grassroots support and the DA's business-friendly policies to undertake much-needed economic reforms. It could also create a more investor-friendly environment, stimulating economic growth and creating jobs. In addition, by combining the ANC's social programs with the DA's focus on fiscal responsibility, the result would be a more balanced approach to economic development in South Africa. But critics are not convinced, pointing to the radically opposed ideological differences between right-wing DA and leftist ANC on critical policy issues such as economic policy, land reform, and social welfare, making compromise difficult. They believe it's naive to think that the ANC and DA can simply set aside these differences and work together effectively. Furthermore, with the existence of influential internal factions within both parties who can oppose or even sabotage such an initiative, the coalition government would likely be bogged down by infighting and gridlock, making it difficult to implement any meaningful economic policies. Critics also cite negative public perceptions, arguing that many South Africans may view a DA-ANC coalition with skepticism, even hostility, viewing it as a betrayal of party principles or a move merely driven by political expediency rather than genuine cooperation. Amongst the challenges currently facing South Africa, none is greater than the crippling economic crisis, whose effects are being felt by all races and classes, but especially the poor. A governing coalition that prioritizes economic recovery and, more importantly, ensures that the benefits are accessible to everyone will undoubtedly win the support of South Africans across racial and class lines. In any coalition negotiations, the ANC will still be the majority party and therefore must ensure that the necessary economic reforms that must be undertaken are not at the expense of the poor, who have been waiting for far too long for their economic liberation. A delicate balance must therefore be struck, whilst the ANC, at least for now, has enough leverage and political clout. ANC's popularity declined. But what happened to the all-powerful and much revered African National Congress of the apartheid era? Despite its historical credentials as the party of the South African liberation struggle, the ANC today faces plummeting popularity due to accusations of corruption and poor governance, casting doubt on its future viability. Furthermore, although race remains a potent force in South African politics, influencing party affiliation and electoral outcomes, other political divisions are appearing on the horizon in the post-apartheid era. According to data from the Electoral Commission, a significant portion of registered voters falls within the 18 to 29 and 30 to 39 age groups. Interestingly, the heroic stature of Nelson Mandela, revered by so many all over the world, faces scrutiny by this younger generation for his emphasis on national unity over economic liberation. With projections indicating the ANC's potential minority status in the 2029 elections, the party confronts the inevitability of post-election coalitions, or even worse, political irrelevance. The DA's leadership challenge. However, the Democratic Alliance is itself not without internal weaknesses. Although its rule of the Western Cape stands out as a beacon of effective governance that contributes significantly to the nation's GDP, the DA leadership has come under sharp scrutiny. Crafting a successful governing coalition will require humility and realism, qualities often lacking in the DA's approach, according to critics. Furthermore, the DA confronts challenges of racial inclusivity and leadership stability, complicating its coalition aspirations. Political analysts further highlight the DA's history of failed partnerships, raising doubts about its ability to navigate complex political terrain. In recent days, the DA leaders' warning of a quote-unquote doomsday coalition with the economic freedom fighters and the ANC has provoked skepticism, especially in light of his own party's racial controversies. Conclusion. And so, Is an ANC-DA governing coalition the solution to South Africa's economic crisis? The answer remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. South Africa's economic recovery will require bold political leadership and a willingness to put the nation's interest above partisan politics. As we navigate the turbulent waters of South African politics, the prospect of an ANC-DA coalition raises critical questions about South Africa's future. Will the history of the country's much admired liberation struggle guide political leaders towards collaboration and progress? Or will past grievances overshadow this path forward? As a way forward, they only need to turn to the inspiring wisdom of their Constitution's preamble, which states, and I quote, "We, the people of South Africa, recognize the injustices of our past, honor those who suffered for justice and freedom in our land, respect those who have worked to build and develop our country, and believe that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, united in our diversity." And that's it, viewers. Thank you for joining us today. So, what do you think? Can a DA-ANC governing coalition work? Or is it doomed from the start? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth political analysis and commentary on South Africa. Keep watching.